Just apropos, Scott Morrison, in the debates when Anthony Albanese said a Labor government put Marines into Darwin, but the Morrison government gave a 99-year lease to a company associated with the Chinese Communist Party, the Prime Minister's persistent answer was it had nothing to do with his government. Now there's a story today that taxpayers forked almost $20 million out as an incentive for the Northern Territory to sell a lease to the Port of Darwin to this company, Landbridge, with links to the Chinese Communist Party. Now, Scott Morrison was Treasurer. Now, surely signing off on $20 million is proof that he actively encouraged the deal, or does $20 million just go out the door and no one in government is accountable for it?
Well, I've had a look at that, and it was an asset recycling fund payment. Now, let's just remember the Labor Party received that payment, okay? The Labor Party received that payment. So any moralising by the Labor Party is sort of peculiar when they put the money in their state, in their territory's pocket. So what happened with that port, which should never have happened, right? No arguments, should never have happened.
Definitely.
The CLP at the time did not need the government because they were leasing the port, not selling the port. The port is still owned by the Australian people. It's the management rights.
99-year lease.
No, I know it's a 99-year lease, and I get it. It should never have happened. But then subsequently, we went and changed the laws so it can't happen again. And yes, it should never have happened. That was a bad idea. I'm very uncomfortable with it.
Good on you.
And
good on you.
What
I love about you, Barnaby, what I love about this bloke, he's so honest. See, he said, bad idea. He doesn't try to obfuscate. Bad idea. I'm not comfortable with it. Barnaby, last year, 5 of your colleagues drafted legislation allowing the Clean Energy Finance Corporation to invest in nuclear power. Now, at the time, many Liberals said the ban on nuclear power should be lifted. Do you agree with that?
I think that the Australian people are moving in huge knots. Every time I ask people, do you support nuclear power? The vast majority of the room raise their hand. But we're also aware in an election that it's so easy for the Labor Party, as they've done before, to run around saying, "Oh, you're going to put a nuclear power plant in the middle of the Pitt Street Mall, and you're going to put one in the middle of Hyde Park," and this is all rubbish. If there's ever, I believe that there's something that the Labor Party should be mature enough to actually, in a bipartisan way, say, let's have a look at this, and work together to look at it. We're the only OECD country that doesn't have nuclear power. The AWU, the Australian Workers' Union, support nuclear power. Now the CFMEU on the left side support nuclear power. So we're getting a very small group of people now who don't support it, and I think it's incumbent upon the Parliament into the future to bind together, to not make this controversial, to not try and score ridiculous points, and to say, okay, let's work towards this. But as soon as one goes by themselves, the other side.
I mean, we've got over 40% of the world's uranium reserves. We export the stuff so that other countries can have cheap and clean energy. I mean, it's beyond belief. It is beyond belief, isn't it?